8 o'clock on Saturday, February 8th. We got a lot to talk about, a lot going on over the next couple of weeks, a very active weather pattern we had. And we're going to start right off the bat here with this evening and into tonight. We have a little system coming through. You can see already on the satellite starting to take shape over the Ohio River Valley. The clouds are building, and it's going to make its way east. However, most of the precipitation and frozen precipitation will be north of where we are in central New Jersey. Take a look at our forecast from the National Weather Service. You see pretty much the entire Northeast is covered in winter weather advisories and a couple of winter storm watches. And we will get to some of that as we go on. But let's dive right in with this upcoming system tonight and into early morning hours. The models have been pretty consistent with the timing and precipitation type here. We're going to have a wintry mix here in central New Jersey, but as you get further north, you are going to see more of that frozen snow precipitation, which is why we have a couple winter storm warnings that are now valid in the Catskills and up into southern New England. This is the NAM model. We'll through a couple of them. Valid tonight at 7 p.m. And you can see as this precipitation shield is just starting to get into this extreme southern New Jersey here. And we have a wide mix of the type of precipitation. We have some sleet, we have some freezing rain, snow to the north of that obviously, and rain to the south. And as you just progress forward a little bit, you can see how that right now in this forecast hour, which is 10 p.m. tonight, you can see we have all four different types of precipitation here in New Jersey. Snow to the very north, some sleet, some freezing rain, and some rain in the extreme southern coastal New Jersey and Atlantic and Cape May counties. But like I said, all the models pretty much agree. This is a GFS, go forward in time. You can see how it's just a mix. This is the Euro. Again, just a big mix. So here in New Jersey, we can expect more snow to the north, of a very wide range of precipitations in central Jersey between sleet and snow and freezing rain. So expect some snow on the ground, expect some sleet, expect some glazing on the roadways with some freezing rain and ice. And then in the extreme southern, again, Cape May, Atlantic, Salem counties, you can expect some rain toward the end of that too. And the system is fairly quick. Again, this is the Euro. We move on to Sunday morning at 7 a.m. We get some lingering showers here. And then by noontime tomorrow, the storm has exited our region and off the coast here. Now, we can take a look at some of the snow totals from this. This is just snow. This is not sleet. This is not freezing rain. This is just snow. And you can see most of that precipitation, that snow stays north of, we'll say, I-78 in New Jersey. We'll see a little bit, not a whole lot, but again, there's going to be a lot of mixing that's going on in central and southern New Jersey. Okay, but again, we can go to the GFS and take a look at that. And again, the same idea, the gradient and cutoff is right around that I-78 corridor. And then the GFS has obviously a more bullish solution into this Catskills and Connecticut and western Massachusetts in terms of their total snow forecast for snowfall. So that's why these areas up here are currently under a winter storm warning. But let's move on from that, because that's going to be in and out in about 12 or 15 hours or so from this point. And we're going to move on to middle of the week. Let's take a look at the middle of the week. This is a big one here for us in central Jersey. This is going to be our best chance of snow and accumulating snow over the next couple of weeks. However, we will see, as I will get to later in the video, a very, very active pattern. You will see storm after storm after storm, like planes lining up to land on a runway. Now, how many of those will produce snow for us here in central Jersey? That still remains to be seen, but regardless, you have a lot of snowfall in the Northeast. So this is our map for Wednesday. This right now is a NAM. So this is our one of our short range models, and this is as far out as the model goes, which is 1 p.m. on Tuesday. So you can see that precipitation to the south of us starting to approach New Jersey. And there is a decent amount of mixing that is occurring in the system as well, as you can expect in any winter system. But as we go to our other forecast models, for example, the GFS, this is the same time I can fast forward a little bit here. You can see that the mixing and the mixed precipitation stays to our south here and keeps New Jersey mostly in the snow. Now this is a more southerly track that would be favorable for us for a higher snowfall. The Euro model also has us a more southerly track where southern New Jersey gets the majority of the snow in this case. And this is the Canadian model, another long range, which is kind of the same thing. What's unique is that if I go back to the GFS, for example, and I go to 1 p.m. on Tuesday, and I compare that to where the NAM is, because remember the NAM can't go out any further than this at the moment. But you'll see that the precipitation shield is a little bit further north in the NAM than it is in the GFS. And if I compare the GFS, Euro, and Canadian, they're all relatively the same. So the NAM model is picking up on something that's going to push this, at the moment, a little bit further north. And that's reflected upon in our snowfall. So here is, again, at 1 p.m. on Tuesday. So this is before the system really gets to us here in New Jersey. And then I can compare that to the GFS. You can just see how there's a little northern shift with this is the NAM and this is the GFS. So there's a little bit of a northern shift in the short range model. So we're going to keep an eye on that to see if anything changes or if one model is picking up on some data that the other models are not. As it stands right now, again, I can fast forward with the GFS here and fast forward to, we'll go into early Wednesday morning. Okay, you can see that the majority of that snowfall stays south to us. The big jackpot area here is, middle of Virginia, just south of DC, the eastern shore of Maryland, southern Delaware. That's where it looks like you're going to get the jackpot from this particular model. Now, keep in mind that the NAM pushes that all forward and northward rather. So, it doesn't take much for a small shift will certainly get us into a little bit more of a higher snowfall. But even right now, central Jersey, you're looking at around 3 to 4 inches right here in this area here. We compare that to the Euro model at this time. A little bit less, but you're still around the 3-inch mark. You can compare that to the Canadian model at this time frame too. Again, maybe a little bit further north, but you're still around the 2 or 3 inches mark. So it doesn't look like the big jackpot storms that we're looking for. However, we will have what seems to be a significant snowfall as Wednesday approaches. Now, we'll keep an eye on that, obviously. As we get closer, we take a look at the short range models and see if we can compare them. But we can stay tuned to MFK Weather for your updates on the Wednesday storm. Just looking ahead, beyond Wednesday, this is where it gets really interesting. I'm just going to stick here with the GFS model. Again, this is just one. So this is one of our longest range forecast models that goes out for about 10 days or 12 days. So we're going to just fast forward a snapshot of this. So we're going to rewind. So here's our storm tonight. Again, mostly in southern New York and southern New England. That looks like you're going to be dumped on pretty well there with some snowfall. So here's storm number 1. We get into Wednesday. This is the one that we've been just talking about. This is storm number 2. Shortly after that, you have storm number 3, which is more of northern upstate New York and northern New England. This is for Thursday, Friday time frame. That's storm number 3, and then you keep going a little bit further, and by the end of next weekend, you have storm number 4 for President's Weekend. Again, This is like a really major one where you're looking at that pink, that foot plus of snow across the entirety of New York State, just about New England, northern Pennsylvania. And again, it's still a long ways away, so we still have a lot to talk about before then, and a lot can change. But we're going to certainly keep an eye on this. This is Storm 4, right? And then we keep going. And this is what I'm looking at here, Storm 5. This is for next weekend. We're looking at the 22nd, 23rd, 24th. And this is a long way away, so don't get your hopes up. But this looks like your classic I-95 blizzard, which certainly is in the signals. Things have changed a lot in the GFS model this far out, so don't take too much into this. But my point saying is that we have a lot here in the next couple weeks in terms of our snow, our snowfall, these coastal storms, and it's going to be a lot to talk about. So stay tuned, and we'll keep you updated as best we can. Don't forget, the weather is weather. We can only hope it gets better. We'll see you next time.